Hi! If you don't know me, my name is Nayeli, and I am a bookstagrammer and a writer and a poet and a lot of other things, but mainly I'm a bookstagrammer, and this is my Instagram handle thingy. So yeah, this is my first YouTube video on this account. I used to have a lot of other YouTube channels and then I got rid of them, so this is the first one in this one. So yeah, today I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I read in 2025, which unfortunately I did not meet my goal. 2025 I was like, I'm gonna get it to 100. I got halfway. I got to 51. So yeah, and a lot of those books I don't even have with me anymore. I donated them. Okay, so starting off strong, we have January, and I know it's only 4 books, but it'll get better, I promise. I promise it'll get better. So the first read was Daughters of Olympus, and this one I was iffy on. I gave it 3 stars, mainly just because I didn't fully find myself wanting more of the story. I did find it really interesting to learn about Persephone's, like, how she became Persephone, because obviously she wasn't originally Persephone and she wasn't originally, you know, Hades' betrothed and all of that. And I'm super interested in Greek mythology because I read the whole Percy Jackson series in 2024, so I was really excited to read it. And so that was the first read of the year. It was a little bit disappointing, but I think it was definitely good. I just don't know if I would recommend it or read it again. Next we have The Rival, which, if you can tell, I did enjoy this one. I love a good rom-com, and I love academic rivals to lovers. It's one of my favorite tropes ever. I love it. So I was immediately captured by this, and also just the fact that I'm pretty sure his name is Seb. I thought of La La Land. I don't know if you can see that, just like she looks like Mia with like the hair. So I was just thinking of La La Land when I was reading about it, but I really loved this one. I gave it 4 stars. It's a really good fast-paced rom-com, and if you like academic rivals to lovers, you will love it. Yeah, so it was a really good book. Next we have The One, The Only, The Do-Over. I also really enjoyed this one. The little stars are like my favorite quotes or scenes from the book, but this is one of my favorite books ever. It's one of my favorite Lynn Painter books. Really, all of them are, but this one is just, yeah. I wish that I had read it around Valentine's Day, because since I read it in January, I did not read it in February. So I do wish that I read it in February, because then that would have matched the vibes so well. But this is a like Groundhog Day sort of story, and it's a rom-com, and it was really cute. And lastly, we have a 2-star rating, Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. Now, okay, this one, I really wanted to like it. The reason I read this one, and the reason why I have this specific cover, was I read this one as a like book club book. Oh, sorry, I had an alarm. I read this as a book club book between me and my mom, because we had a book club, and we decided to read this one because we watched the show the December before. So we were like, oh, why don't we read the book? Because we didn't know it was a book at first, and then we found out it was a book. So going into it, our hopes were really high. I don't like it when the book and the production are like completely different, or they have such staggering differences that it's like, am I even like reading or watching the same thing? So for Dash and Lily, I did not like Dash whatsoever in the book. In the show, he's okay, but in the book, he was such a jerk, and it was so clear that he did not like Lily. Like, he was like, oh, you want to meet up? I hadn't really thought of that. And then with him and Sophia, like, he literally kissed her the morning before he went to meet up with Lily. Moving on to February, there were not only 2 books. I got rid of the other books. There were 5 books that I read in February, and I only have 2 of them. So I'll go through the list, but I did read more than this. Okay, first we have Dating and Dragons. It's one of my favorite rom-coms ever. It also has a lot of annotations. I've actually acted out a scene from this book, and I've made a few videos of me dressing as characters from not only this one but the other one, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, I love these books. And I got approved for Roles and Rivalry, which is the 3rd book in the series. I need to read it. I'm really bad at being able to like keep track of reading on my phone when it's not like a physical copy, which I know sounds so like, oh, it's not like a physical copy. It's hard for me to read on my phone because it's just this little phone, and then I have to be like, oh, yeah. So I prefer reading when it's paper, but I'm really happy that I got approved for that because this book is so cute. I didn't have an interest in Dungeons and Dragons before. I don't have a huge interest in it now, but this book, like, it informed me so much more about it, and it seems like such a fun thing to do, especially when you're in a group of people, like your friends, and you all are just like, you all are on the same wavelength, and no one's judgy and stuff. And then Logan. I love Logan so much. Yeah. But I gave this one a 4 stars, so. Okay, next I read Wings of Starlight, which I love this book. I also have a signed version of this, so this is the one that I got from Barnes & Noble, which is the one that I annotated. Yeah, this is the one that I annotated because I didn't want to annotate like the special one that I got in the mail. So, Wings of Starlight, where do I even start with this? I gave it a 5 stars. I think to describe this, I'm going to use the song Peter by Taylor Swift. That's the best way that I can describe this. If you grew up watching the Tinkerbell movies, which if you didn't grow up watching the Tinkerbell movies or you've never watched them, please go watch them. I am going to beg you to watch them because they're so magical and so cute, and especially the Secret of Wings. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name. It's the one that inspired this book. But this book is about Queen Clarion and Lord Mallory. Lord Mallory. I love him so much. But it's the background story to how they became who they are and why they don't talk to each other and why it's forbidden for both of the lands to like mix, which is winter and then spring and all the other stuff. So like winter's separate from all the other seasons. So this book, amazing. I recommend it all of the time, and I kind of want to reread it, but I'm scared because I cried and it broke my heart, but it also healed my heart. So, and the next 2 I don't have, and I'm not going to talk about them too much because I don't want to bring too much attention to it, but the next 2 books were Binding 13 and Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. I gave them 5 stars and 4 stars. I liked them at the time. I'm not a part of that. I'm not a part of the Boys of Tommen community anymore, and I don't read the books anymore or really talk about them too much, so that's why I'm not going to spend too much time talking about them. But I really liked the first 2 books in the series, and I thought that the stories were very interesting. They're not my favorite, like they were not my favorite reads of the year. I think I just don't really like it when authors rely so heavily on like profanity. And I think some authors, when they're like adults, which is not like specifically to this series, but just in general, when authors who are adults think that teenagers act a certain way, or like there's like a stereotypical version of a teenager, and you just can't really relate to it because you're like, oh, I don't do all that stuff. And they're like 15, the character's like 15 years old. And you're kind of just sitting there like, am I supposed to relate to this? Because I'm not. So anyway, that's kind of like one of my pet peeves when it comes to like young adult books, which also, I want to give you a fair warning, the Boys of Tommen series is not YA. Anyone who tells you that it's YA, it's not YA. So please, please, please take caution if you're going to read that series, or if you're going to look into it or anything. Please, 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 please take caution. Do your research about it, and don't feel pressured to read it just because everyone else is reading it, because I know it's like a huge thing in the book community. But there's other books out there, and there's better YA books that are truly YA, that are like rom-com and still give you the same effect as that. So that's all I'm gonna say about that, but that was February. Next we have March, which was only 3. There were none that I got rid of. I don't really know why March was such like a iffy month. It might have been because I was so stressed out from AP World History. That class was very stressful, so that might have been why I didn't read that many. But the first one is Betting on You. To say that 2025 was the year that I read the most Lynn Painter books, because in 2024 I only read better than the movies and nothing like the movies. So 2025 was really the year that I read all the Lynn Painter books, well, the YA ones. So yeah, Betting on You, 5 stars. I have the really pretty sprayed edges. I do want to get a normal version. I annotated this one because they didn't have the normal version when I got Betting on You, but I do want to get the normal version just because this one's so pretty, and I don't like it when I have to ruin sprayed edges when they're just so pretty. So Betting on You. This book, it made me cry, it made me smile. The song that I can use to describe this book is In Between by Gracie Abrams, unreleased. I heard it live. Anyways, that song is quite literally Charlie and Bailey, because Bailey is glasses and Charlie is Mr. Nothing. But it's such a cute book. It is such a cute book. Please, 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 please read this. I know some people aren't huge on rom-coms, but when I tell you, like, Lynn Painter rom-coms just hit different. They're so cute, and they just make you feel so good and like warm inside, and they feed your delusions, which is exactly what we all want. We all want our delusions to be fed. So Betting on You, amazing, incredible, I loved it. Yes. The next one, it has 0 stars. I don't think I've ever rated a book 0 stars before. And I know that a lot of people do tend to like this author. It may just be the books that I've read by her, but I read one other book by her. It was like my favorite book until I read another murder mystery, and I realized I didn't actually like it. I just told myself I did. So anyway, without further ado, The Island by Natasha Preston. Yeah, 0 stars, and it's not even that big of a book. Like, compared to Betting on You, not even that big of a book. It shouldn't have bothered me this much, but from the beginning, I probably should have known that I wasn't going to like it, because it had to do with influencers on an island, and I didn't really like that concept. But something in me, like, I looked up what the like highest rated books were by Natasha Preston, because I previously read The Lake. This was one of the highest rated ones at the time. I don't know if that list has changed. At the time, this was one of the highest rated ones. So we have Everything I Promised You, which I actually have a signed copy. Pretty sure they only have signed copies at my Barnes & Noble, but it's really cute. It's in pink, and it matches the sprayed edges. There was also a bookmark and a sticker, which is, I love it when they do that. But this book, it said, where was it? I'm pretty sure it was on the bookmark, but it said it was going to leave me in tears. I rated it 4 stars just because I didn't cry, and I didn't feel sad during this entire book. It felt like a rom-com that wasn't as much comedy. It was more like a low romance. like, when I think of a sad romance or I think of something that's going to make me cry, my mind immediately goes to The Fault in Our Stars, because that's like the epitome of the subplot of romance, but also the tragedies and death and stuff. So that's what I was expecting from this book, but I didn't cry. But it was good. It was good. I just didn't cry, which is why I could not give it 5 stars. I don't even know why I gave it 4 stars. I probably would give this 3 stars, just because if you're going to make me cry, I want at least a tear, or like to feel something, but I just didn't feel something for this entire book. So that kind of disappointed me. Next is April. First and foremost, we have When Haru Was Here. This book was so sweet. I love it when there's like those hopeful books. So like when I was talking about Everything I Promised You and how it didn't make me cry, it's not because I want it to like rip my heart out, but it just didn't make me feel anything. This book, it did make me feel something, and I was really happy with the ending. I didn't expect the ending at all, but I was really happy with it, and I really like the way that this author writes. I read another one of his books, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but I really like the way that he writes, and I like the way that he describes things, and just, I really like the connection that the characters had, and I liked the beauty of it all, the way that like the imagery was really beautiful. So I gave this book a 3 stars. It wasn't the best book. I wish it was a little bit longer, and I wish it kind of had like more to it towards the end, because I wanted to know more at the end. But overall, it was a good book. So that's number 1. Number 2. Number 2 is Fearless. I did not know I would be talking about Fearless again in this way, because when I finished it, I filmed a video of myself because I needed to talk about it, and no one that I knew at the time had finished it. So I gave it 5 stars. I'd probably give it 4 stars if I was to go back, just because there were so many unanswered questions that weren't even answered in Fearful, which I'll talk about Fearful in a little bit. But overall, I really liked this book. I know that some people are a little bit like against the Powerless series because they think that it's plagiarism towards Red Queen. I read the Red Queen series before Powerless, and I personally don't see that much of a connection. I think that you're constantly going to find that like 2 brothers, one girl who's like special or different or whatever is caught between the 2 brothers, and there's powers, and there's fighting, and there's like some trials and all of that stuff, and there's like travel. I think you're going to find that a lot in romanticities, especially in YA. So I don't really see the connection that much. If you disagree, I don't really know what to tell you. I read both series, and I really don't see connection that much. I preferred the Powerless series over Red Queen. I just found myself a little bit bored with Red Queen, and I just didn't find myself connecting to the characters that much. So that's my personal opinion about it. I know that there's a lot of people that like both series, or they just don't want to read Powerless because of the whole Red Queen thing. Anyways, this book, I'm just going to say quotes because, actually no, it's been a while. I think if you haven't read Fearless yet and you're planning to, I don't know how you would not see spoilers at this point, because it's good. It's been a while, so I'm not really scared of that anymore. Kit, I love Kit. I know that people don't like Kit, especially in this book. I think he was a very misunderstood character, and I think the way that he was written could sometimes make him come off as the villain, but really he was doing the best that he could, and he did more than Kai. Kai was just sort of there. Kai was trying to steal his bride, who he didn't even want to marry in the first place, but he had to because he knew it was what was best for the kingdom. He was also being lied to, along with Peyton, and he got no support or comfort whatsoever after Peyton literally killed their father. Kai was just like, oh, that's fine, I love you. Kit got nothing. and he was given this entire kingdom to rule over and to lead out of nowhere. So say what you want about Kit, but I love Kit, and it made me very, very sad when he died. Especially the I forgot scene. Okay, and then the last book that I read in April was Watch Me. Watch Me lives in my head rent-free. The entirety of the Shatter Me series does, but Watch Me, this book, just, it's amazing. I cannot wait for Release Me. I want an arc for Release Me so badly. I will do anything to read Release Me sooner than when it comes out. I just need Release Me. Please. I also have Aaron Warner's ring. I don't know if that counts for anything, but I'm very excited for Release Me. That's the end of April though. This one's a sad one. We have May. One book. I'm gonna finish this in 2 days, and as you can see, I really enjoyed this one. This isn't the signed one that I have. I do have, I'll talk about that later. Anyway, oh, sorry, I thought something happened to it. I love hockey. If you couldn't tell, I'm wearing a hockey jersey. It's for the San Jose Sharks because they're playing today, and I want to give them good luck, but also they're my favorite hockey team. I love Will. Anyways, so hockey is my favorite sport. And I know that some people have like this association that like all hockey books have smut. I don't like smut. I don't read smut. I purposefully buy books that don't have smut because I don't want it. I'm not interested in it, and I just don't think that it's necessary to have in every book, or books that genuinely just don't need it. And so for the hockey books that I show, none of it has smut. They're all young adult and true young adult, so yeah. This is Rival Darling, and it's trilogy, and the 3rd book's coming out soon, so if you haven't read it, you should. Fake dating, banter, and hockey. If that didn't sell you, I don't know. The cover. It's really cute. I like to think of it like a song. I'm associating some books with songs because that's a very easy thing to do. I think Bowling Alley by Audrey Hobart fits this book perfectly. I also made a video using Bowling Alley for this book, but I think that it definitely gives it a little like oomph. And also there's a scene where he's playing his game and they had just had a fight, like a fake breakup because, you know, they weren't even in a real relationship to begin with, but he stops everything and he starts figure skating. He does a figure skating routine in order to get her attention. That's all I'm gonna say about it, but yeah, I gave this one 5 stars, so that was May. Next we go into June. So I had 2 books. I don't have one of the books because I put that in my lending library. So the 2 books were Caraval, which I gave 1 star. I loved the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. I cannot wait for the novella that we're going to get, but something about Caraval just, it made me sad. Like, I don't know what was in that book. It just made me really sad. Like, it messed with my mental health, and I have no idea why. Like, I genuinely have no idea why. So it's nothing to do with, like, the book or, like, the author or, like, the plot or anything like that. Because I was really interested in it. It just made me feel sad. So I gave it 1 star because I just didn't want it in my room because it made me sad. So anyway, moving off of that one. Heartless. 5 stars. People are not lying. If you've heard about Heartless, people are not lying when they tell you that it's going to break your heart. Because it broke my heart. I get attached to characters very easily, and when things happen to them, it hurts me. So, okay, now for July. This is the stack I have. One of the books was an online ARC, and I never got a final copy of it, so I only have these 2. But starting off, we have Boy Sick, which is one of my favorite books ever. And the author is so sweet. I love Meredith. She's amazing. If you don't follow her, you need to follow her, and you need to read Boy Sick. It's a rom-com, and I give it 5 stars, obviously. You know, I don't think I annotated enough. I think I could have annotated more. It's a fake dating turns to like friends to love, childhood friends to lovers, like best friends, brother, love. And Carter, I love Carter so much. He's so sweet. Any trope that you want in a rom-com, it's in here. Any cutesy wootsy thing, it's in here. The references, the music, everything, I love it so much. And I cannot wait for the sequel because I know it's coming. I just cannot wait for it, and it's one of my favorite books ever, and I always recommend it. So yes, it's a rom-com, and it takes place like Halloween time, and it takes place between these 2 girls, and I think it just like overall had really cutesy vibes. It was a really easy read. It ties in a lot of like your favorite aspects of like small towns and like the autumn vibes, like very Gilmore Girls-y, but just between 2 girls and not like a girl and a guy. And I really liked the friendship in here, and there's also some witchy magic, so I found that was like a really cool aspect to it. So yeah, I really liked this book. I gave it a 4 stars. So, and then the last one I read in July was Joy to the Girls, which is a novella. I also read this one as an ARC on NetGalley, and then I got the actual edition when I saw it at Barnes & Noble. It's very small, so I think it's like, no, it's smaller than this one. It's very small though. I really liked this one. This one's also a girl and girl rom-com, but this one's a wintertime one, and it's really cute. It's a cozy read. It was a quick read. Similar to the Everything She Does Is Magic, there's all of those little tiny parts of like the holidays that you really like, that bring a nice comforting feeling, and it just feels like you're sitting in front of a fire with hot cocoa. So I really liked the vibes of this one, and I liked how there was like a playful aspect to it. I thought that was really cute, so I gave this one 4 stars. And now August. So for August, I first read Dungeons and Drama, which is the other book in the series. It was all the way down there, but the Dating and Dragons. This is very similar, just different characters and different storyline, but I loved this one as well. Anything by Christy Boyce is honestly just amazing. I have a hot British boyfriend that I need to read, but I'm really excited to read that because I love the way that she writes. It's similar to Lynn Painter, where it's just like there's like this certain like je ne sais quoi about it. So I really loved this one. I gave it a 5 stars. And then I know this one's kind of weird because like I already talked about Shatter Me. I reread Shatter Me because I wanted my mom to read the series, and she had the first book, so we read them at the same time. She hasn't finished the first one. I like read through it because the Shatter Me series is my favorite series ever. So I added my sticky tabs to it, and I did a little bit more annotation because I first read the series beginning of 2024. So there was more than a year difference for it. And I gave it a 5 stars again because it's one of my favorites. It's genuinely my favorite series, and made me really happy to reread it. I'm really excited to reread the rest of the series. Nervous for it, but I'm happy that I first read the first one, reread. Next is September. I had 5 books, but I don't have all of the books that I read. So is Fearful, which I had mentioned earlier. These are all of my annotations. I rated Fearful 5 stars. I'd probably rate it a 4 star. Similar to Fearless, it just left me having a lot of questions, and since we found out that we're not getting another book from this series, but it'll be like another series that's kind of like in the same world, I'm a little bit confused as to how like we're gonna get those questions answered. It was about Kit though, and I loved Kit and I loved Mara. I thought that dynamic was really cool to have Death, and I think that a lot more people learned more about Kit and understood him more. I was just very confused with the ending with baby Kit. I was very confused with that, so left me with some questions, Did make me cry though. Did love it, so yeah. Next up was You Found Oliver. This one is part of like the When Haru Was Here series thing. I also read this one as an arc on NetGalley, and then I got it from Barnes & Noble. So that's why like these ones are not annotated, because I read it online, but they're like my little trophies. And this one's such a pretty one because it's gold. Similar to When Haru Was Here, I really liked this one. I liked the way that it was written. I didn't like this one as much as When Haru Was Here, but I did find it really like interesting, and I liked the story. I liked the plot. I liked the main characters. So yeah, I gave it a 4 stars. I feel like I keep ending these off with like the book that I have the most to say about, but not in a positive way. So the last book is Belladonna. I'm really disappointed because I heard a lot of great things about this series. I also have the next 2 books in the series signed copies. I like ran to Barnes & Noble because the author came to my Barnes & Noble and signed the books. So I like ran to my Barnes & Noble and was like, I need to get these. Okay, the first book wasn't bad. I actually really loved it. It was like Fearful, where the love interest is death. I love that. I think it's such an interesting story to have. My only issue is that it's marked as young adult, and from everyone I've seen, it's been clean like young adult. But towards the end of this book, there was a scene, and it wasn't like super duper graphic, but it was just very clearly not young adult, and it was definitely leaning more towards like smut. Even though it wasn't, it was leaning towards that direction, and it just was not necessary. And it was a really weird switch up, because this entire book, like, they barely even grazed fingers, and then like towards the end it was just like there. So that was really shocking for me, and I think that just gave me like weird feelings to continue the series. Let me know if the next books, if you've read this, like the full series, if the next books are any better, or if they like go even deeper into that, because I don't want to read books like that. So let me know. I gave it 3 stars just because I didn't appreciate that one scene. It probably would have gotten a 4 stars if it didn't have that scene, because I did really like the story. So that was September. Next we have October, which is probably like one of the most amount that I've read that like I still have all of the books, and I have all of them physically. This one was an incredible collection of books. So starting off, I read Assistant to the Villain, which I love this series. I need to read the 3rd one because I have it and I finished the 1st and 2nd, but I haven't read it yet. I need to read that before the next one comes out, but I finally got to read it. I was kind of hesitant to start the series just because it's labeled as new adult, and in my head, new adult's always been like smut, like that's smut. This has no smut in it. It's like even more clean than some young adult romantasy books. So it was really surprising to find out it's like an adult book rather than like young adult. But I loved this book. Loved. I gave it 5 stars. I think if you like that like rom-com energy, you're going to love this, because it has that comedic energy mixed in with like your normal fantasy romantasy stuff, but it's so funny, and I think the humor just adds this charm to it that most fantasy books don't have, because there's like that underlying like that banter thing, but throughout this entire book and the 2nd one as well, there's just this humor to it that makes it so much more lighthearted and like serious and deep all the time, which I really needed and I loved. So next is one that I'm never ever going to stop raving about. This is Heart Check by Emily Charlotte. It's genuinely one of my favorite rom-coms. I'm never going to stop recommending this book. I have so much to say about it. First of all, I was so lucky enough to be on the Heart Check Spirit Committee with one of my best friends, Carly, and it was so much fun because we did so many like collabs together where we did coordinating videos, and I had so many ideas for it, and like we had this schedule that Emily Charlotte had made, and it was just kind of like ideas of what we could do to get people more like hyped up for the release. And it was so much fun participating in that and being able to like tell people, go pre-order this because it's amazing. And I could not put this book down. I sped through it. I read it online as an ARC, but I was crying because it was just so cute and it was just like amazing, and I was just speechless because I knew it was going to be good, but it was so good. So I was able to be part of the spirit committee, and from that it was just an amazing experience. And like I said, Emily Charlotte is like one of the nicest people ever. She's such a sweet person, and she's just like a ray of sunshine, and you feel like, I don't know, she's just so welcoming and warm, and I'm so excited for her next books because I already know they're going to be amazing as well. But look at the sprayed edges. They're beautiful. And is it this one? Wait, I'm confused as to which one it is. I think this is the wrong one. I think it's up there. Okay, this is the wrong one. I have another copy that has a signed book plate right here that I got, but that one's up there. I have 2 copies of it, so that's not the right one. But there's so much that I can say about this. The banter, the rom-com, just everything about it. It has like that small town romance, so like again that Gilmore Girls-y vibe, but think like hockey. It also has hockey. Again, that's a win. That's just, yeah. And then the female main character, Harper, is so relatable, like on so many different levels. She's just such a relatable character and such a likable character as well. And then you have Luke. Luke is just, he's a dreamy guy, and I love him. So yeah, you need to read this though. Please read Heart Check. Please. Okay, next is another hockey book. Fake Skating! This one's actually signed. They had a signed copy at my Barnes & Noble, so I have a signed Lynn Painter book. Like, I have a signed Lynn Painter book. I have another signed Lynn Painter book as well, but like, this one, it's just crazy. Because my Barnes & Noble, they don't really carry that many signed copies of books that like I typically like, especially not Lynn Painter, so it was just so shocking to find this. But wait, did I say what Heart Check was? If I didn't say what Heart Check was, it was 5 stars. I'm so sorry if I didn't say what the stars was. Fake Skating was also 5 stars. This has childhood friends to lovers, but with some of that like banter. It has the like what letter trope. So if you know from like Anne with an E, they're like, Diana, what letter? Or in The Cruel Prince with Jude and Carden. It's a great trope, and this has it. And it was also narrated by Aidan Bissett for the audiobook, which Aidan is the perfect Alec. Like, he is the absolute perfect Alec. Alec is like, personally, I think he's the best Lynn Painter book boyfriend. And I said what I said. He is just such an amazing person, and he's comforting, and I cried because of how sweet he was, and he's a hockey player. And I actually learned some things about hockey from this book. So it was a little bit of like not a rule book, but it was just it kind of gave you some facts about it. And I love Fake Skating so much. So yeah. Okay, next I reread The Do-Over because my mom wanted to read it. So I reread it, and again, 5 stars. I already talked about how amazing it was, so I don't need to talk too much about it, but I reread The Do-Over. Okay, and then last for October, another hockey romance. This one I unfortunately like sort of DNF'd. I don't really know if I consider it like a full DNF because I did finish it, but it wasn't like, I don't remember too much about it, and I feel like that's just more of like a DNF in my brain. Like my brain just chose to not really keep too much of the information. I was really disappointed because I loved the first book. This one I wasn't as into as the first one, which was really disappointing. But also I got, okay, so there was like a thing that if you post about Grumpy Darling and Rival Darling in like a photo, that you could be entered to get like a card, like a signed book plate, and then like a little printout. So I got this little printout, which is so cute, and then I also got a signed book plate, which is so cute. And maybe I just have to reread it because maybe I just like, I don't know, maybe I was in a weird reading slump or something, but I gave it 4 stars. It was cute. It wasn't my favorite, but yeah, it was cute. Okay, and then November. This one does not have all of them. I read 4 books in November. November was like a strange month because I was in Asia for the first 2 weeks of it. So I was in Japan and Korea. So I only brought 2 books with me, which I finished both of those books, but that's why it was kind of like an off month for reading wise. But I first read Apprentice to the Villain, which was the sequel to Assistant to the Villain, and this one I was able to put a lot of sticky tabs in and annotate a lot. This one is my favorite so far in the series. I need to read the 3rd one obviously, and then the 4th one when that comes out, but with this, the 1st and the 2nd, this is my favorite. I just loved it so much, and I think like it had the same theme as the first one, but there was so much more adventure to it and like action going on, and we learned a little bit more about Kingsley, which I love. Kingsley is my diva. I love Kingsley. But we learned a little bit more, and it had like all these different plot twists, which I was not expecting. So I gave it a 5 stars and I loved it. And I know this seems like I'm late to the game. I really just wasn't that much of a reader when I was younger for like the popular series, so that's why I didn't read like the Hunger Games, Percy Jackson, Harry Potter. That's why I didn't like read those when I was when I was younger, because I just wasn't interested in them. So after I read Percy Jackson, I was like, I want to read Harry Potter. So I read I read The Philosopher's Stone, which I gave 4 stars. I know it says the Sorcerer's Stone. It's the Philosopher's Stone. Yeah. Anyway, it has sprayed edges, which is really cute. It was an easy... Oh no! Some of the sprayed edges gone out. Sad. It was an easy read, obviously, because it's like a kids-ish book. So it was an easy read. I really liked it. The only experience I had with like Harry Potter was the films, and I love Harry Potter. So it was really nice to finally actually get into the book world of it all. And I liked the descriptions, and I liked how things sort of matched it, but also how there were different scenes. There were scenes that weren't added, and I liked having a second like perspective of what the whole what Hogwarts looked like and what Harry Potter truly was. So I need to read the second one, but I loved the first one. Okay, and then I saved the best for last. The last book I read in November was My Heart, Your Soul by one of my best friends, Olivia. This was a 5 stars. Here she is. I was so lucky to receive an ARC copy of this. This was my first ever physical ARC that I've been sent, and I had a whole little gift box, and there was like bracelets, stickers, like a letter. It was so sweet. So I annotated a lot. This is also one of my favorite rom-coms ever, and it just helps that it was written by someone who I talk to all the time, and I know a little bit about the rest of the books in the series, so I'm prepared for them, and I'm over the moon in excitement for them. But this book is kind of like, it's definitely friends to lovers, and it's also a hockey thing. So that adds to it, because hockey just makes it better. The references, the song choices, everything about it, I loved it. I loved how it was like an easy read. I loved how I was able to relate to the characters, and the characters were very like the things that they were doing made sense because it was written by a young adult, so it wasn't like an adult trying to assume what teenagers are interested in. So I think that just made it much better. So yeah, I loved this book, and you need to read it, My Heart, Your Soul by Olivia Grace. It's on Amazon. Please read it. And finally, we have reached December. December, I only read 3, but I mean, she's kind of a thick one, so I think I have an excuse for that. So starting off, This Woven Kingdom, I was like, I am determined to read every book written by Tahereh Mafi because she's my second favorite author. So I'm determined to read all of her books because she's genuinely my favorite author. And so I started This Woven Kingdom series. I loved the first book. I'm currently reading the second book, so that should be done soon. I rated this one 5 stars. I love Cyrus. I really do think that he's going to be better than Aaron. Like, I didn't think that that could be possible in the, like, Tahereh Mafi universe, because obviously there's, like, other book boyfriends out there, but in the universe, I do think that Cyrus is better. And then the ending, to marry me, sir, I would gladly marry you. I will gladly get on that dragon and marry you. Thank you very much. So yeah, 5 stars. Okay, next is a book that I buddy read with Carly. This Carly, by the way. If you don't know which Carly I'm talking about, this is the Carly I'm talking about. 8 Dates and Nights. This is a Hanukkah book, which I've never read a Hanukkah book before. As a Jew, I think there's like a lot of Christmas books out there, but there's not many Hanukkah books. So even though it's a short one, it was such a cute one, and it was something I could genuinely relate to, and I understood everything about it because it was a Hanukkah book. So it was a really cute read. I read it in like 2 days. Okay, I like started it, and then I only got like 50 pages in, and then I read then I devoured it in one night. So I gave it 5 stars. It was really cute. I loved different details that were added that were like Jewish details and things that just seemed very relatable and familiar. And I just loved that it was a Hanukkah book. I just think it was a really sweet thing to have, and I started it around Hanukkah time, so yeah. This was an arc that I was sent, which I'm now getting sent arcs, physical arcs, which is amazing, so definitely gonna have a lot of those in my 2026 book wrapped. But this book was so cute. I read it in one full night, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure you can see my highlights. It was really cute. It was like a back and forth sort of thing. It was kind of like a miscommunication trope meets friends to lovers, but sort of like rivals to lovers as well. There was a lot of really cute aspects about this book, and yeah, I rated it 5 stars, and I'm pretty sure it actually comes out today, January 6th, so, wait, let me see. Does it not tell me? Oh yeah, January 6th, so it actually came out today. So yeah. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed my 2025 book wrapped. I enjoyed talking through it. I'm so sorry if I yapped for such a long time. I do tend to do that. I will try my hardest to not do that going forward, or if you like it, let me know. I don't know, maybe it's like good background noise or something. Maybe you found a new read to read this year, or you agreed with me on one of the books that I didn't like. Anyways, I hope you liked my first YouTube video on here, and I can't wait to see you next time. So